Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be taking part in the Workshop Mastermind event. So this is a brand new event type that looks pretty fun, actually. For those who don't enjoy the land aspect of Magic the Gathering, this is probably going to be the one for you. So this is an event built around a 160 card deck, which we'll get into in a second, that uses this Mastermind emblem. It says, as long as 0 lands entered the battlefield under your control this turn, and it is your turn, so essentially sorcery speed, you haven't activated it, each card in your hand has discard this card, create a colorless land token with add 1 mana of any color. Activate this only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So what this emblem essentially means, because it's a little bit weird reading, is that every card in your hand has the potential to be your land drop for the turn. So you can only play 1 land a turn, but any card in your hand can be a land. So it kind of gets around the issue of not having your land drop when you really need it, kind of thing. So you discard cards you're not going to cast, turn them into lands so that you can cast spells that you actually plan on using. And everything's 5 color as well, so there's no color screw, and there should be no mana screw. All that will really be an issue, I'm guessing, is going to be card advantage. That's likely to be what wins here. I haven't really looked too much through the deck. I only noticed it was 160 and it had lots of fun little things in it, but oh, sorry, it's not 160. You can tell how much attention I was paying to this game. 140 card Mastermind, so it's a bit of a mess. I'm not going to go into all of it, but it looks like a pretty reasonably low power level deck. Lots of ways of producing mana, a little bit of removal. There's just everything that you'd really want in here. Again, I'm not going to go into it because there's just too much, but like you've got things like Zakama at the top, which are going to be pretty fun. I imagine a lot of these high drops are going to be the first things to discard, so you want to be playing on curve, so having something to do on 1, something to do on 2, and also having cards in hand to discard so you can make those land drops seems like it's going to be super important. I get the impression with some of the inclusions in this deck that they expect us to have big mana. Things like Banefire, things like Zakama. They either want us to just discard them because they're useless, or they want us to have some big mana. But I'm not really seeing any kind of ramp necessarily outside of like Gilded Goose. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough. I certainly haven't really given this one too much attention because there's too many cards in here to really look over. And actually, I won't ever see half of them even while recording this video. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. As I said, the power level looks quite low. Maybe a little bit lower than I would prefer, but it's certainly a lot low enough that it's not too high powered like Standard and Historic is at the moment. For me personally, I prefer a nice fun interaction, calm, casual 10-minute game of Magic, not a 3-minute I lose on turn 2 kind of game, which is what Magic's devolving into right now, or evolving depending on what you really want out of the game. But yeah, without further ado, let's get on to it, shall we? This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alright, we're in. No lands, so obviously this is going to be a mull. No. I actually don't know what I think about this one. We don't really have anything good to cast initially, so depending on whether or not they give us like a free mulligan, I really don't know if they will or not. Stormfleet Arsonist, a 5-mana 4/4. When it attacks, sack a permanent. Ooh, if they have no creatures, their lands are permanents that they could sacrifice. Abundant Falls. Ooh, that's some pretty art. Don't know what Abundant Falls is, actually. I don't remember that card. Beast Whisperer seems pretty good. So we're going to activate... Is that not how we do it? Ah, we use the Mastermind emblem. Okay, so we're going to get rid of, I think, Rakdos, I guess. Gonna discard that to make our land drop for the turn and pass. This is literally my first time playing this this event, so forgive me for not having a clue what I'm doing. Right, Gust of Wind. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you control a creature with flying. Return a non-land permanent to the hand and draw a card. So these are lands, so we can't bounce them. I mean, do we just get rid of the Arsonist? It's a cool card, but do I see myself using it? I suppose it's removal. Let's get rid of... I just don't know. I just straight up don't know. Kiln Fiend we'll get rid of, and we'll play Pridemate and hope that we draw some life gain, I guess. I have no idea. It's a weird situation. Does the deck tracker work? It doesn't. Alright. No deck tracker for you, chat. Alright, yeah. Opponent's got lots of big stuff. Their decisions aren't too difficult when it comes to deciding what goes in the trash. I think we're putting Divine Visitation in the trash. I just don't see myself using that anytime soon. It has to be creature tokens to trigger Divine Visitation, so these land tokens aren't going to do anything. And then I guess we'll just play Mace of the Valiant. And pass the turn. Opponent's going to get in for 3. The first bit of damage. This game's real slow. Oh boy, it's slow. I do want to get down Beast Whisperer next turn, I think. So, keep Bake into a pie. Probably get rid of Starlit Mantle, I suppose. This feels like a very tap-out kind of hand. Yep, no blocks. So I just don't know if we're... We certainly don't want to protect this Starlit Mantle. Rekindling Phoenix is in this deck. Okay. Legion's Landing. It's not the worst. Alright, so we're going to discard that. Going to play Beast Whisperer. Now we draw a card off of every creature we play. So I'm hoping they'll attack and not play blockers, but I think that's Magical Christmas Land, to be honest. This Arsonist's not looking too great with a Rekindling Phoenix out, so I'm probably going to dump that one in the trash. Yeah, no blocks. Oof. Yeah, it might be Legion's Landing and Gust of Wind. Ugh. We're just gonna straight up lose. I have no answers to a Rekindling Phoenix. This looks like a bomb to me. I'm not really seeing a good answer to flyers other than get your own flyers. We do have this Gust of Wind, which is, it's a thing, I suppose. But we don't have flyers to reduce the cost of it. I'll just bounce you. Polyraptor, yeah, that can go in the trash. And then we'll play Legion's Landing. And again, we're just not attacking. Such a horrid place to be. This gives Vigilance and +1/+1 for each counter on it, by the way. Looks like we're just cracking food for life gain. Yep. Oh, no. Crack 2 for draw. That is a thing on Savvy Hunter. So, 6 mana. I need some exile for the Rekindling Phoenix, plural, or a big flyer that can block them. I think I just have to double block here, to be honest. I can't take any more damage. I've been trying to not not block for the longest time, and it's not going to work out. Because they'll play Rekindling Phoenix here, and I'm probably just going to die. Because that is 8 points I can't interact with outside of Bake into a Pie, which is not really interaction. It will kill them, it will make some food tokens, and then Phoenix will come back with haste and kill me. So I need a good card. Just any good card. This format's extremely slow. It looks very bomb orientated. Okay, 1 mana. Don't know if they've made their land drop or what, but hopefully they'll figure it out at some point. Yeah, I guess I can play this crappy hybrid to draw a card. Oh, there's Hackdos. Yeah, I mean, this is just discard this because it's crap. Play this to draw a card. Hold up and bake into a pie to not die. Hippocamp won't do anything. And yeah, that's basically it. If they've got any kind of protection for their Phoenix, then we're done for. If they've got additional damage that they can put on top of the other Phoenix, then we're done for. Looks like we might be dodging a little bit of a bullet. So surviving the turn. So that makes a 0/1 token that they can sacrifice to bring Rekindling Phoenix back with haste next turn. So I'm still dead to 2 Rekindling Phoenixes. Yeah, I don't know what my opinion on this format is at the moment. It's weird. First game in, I'm feeling like my decisions didn't really matter. Primal Empathy. Yeah, I mean, what can I draw at this point? I suppose that Rakdos that I discarded would have been nice. What do you even do? When you cast a non-creature spell, put a counter on it? Yeah, that's not useful. So I'll cast this to draw a card. Revoke Existence. Destroy an artifact or enchantment. That doesn't do anything, and yeah, I'm dead. I am dead. Let's see what we would have drawn, I suppose. Let's discard that. Play that. And a blocker. Absolutely absurd. Alright, well, next game. Pretty uneventful, to be honest. Okay, we're in, and we got no real immediate play. Beginning of your end step, if your opponent lost life, put a counter on it. Now it's flying. Okay, so that's going to be our first play by the looks of things. Are we just running straight into it with like Mace of the Valiant or something like that? Guess we are. Alright, let's just start dumping the cards that we don't want to use. This one actually has a graveyard effect, so let's get that one in the trash. And then we might as well play Weaponize the Monsters, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe it's better to hold in hand as a land drop. Carebringer, is that what it's called? Carver. Chart a Course. Okay, we'll hold that. I'm going to get rid of Giant Growth. I don't think we want to draw and discard when next, 2 turns from now, we can just draw 2. It's probably better to wait. There's not a whole lot of removal in this format. So my Gorgeous should be able to stick around, hopefully. And if our opponent presents a flyer, then we'll keep Angrath as a menacer. Speaking of a whole lot of removal, I think that's what we have to do on that champion. Do not want this thing growing. So kill that. This is just too expensive for this format as far as I'm concerned. I'm not casting it anytime soon. There's a Talpa in the trash. Another card that's... Oh my god. Seriously? Alright, well, I'll play my own. And we'll get rid of nothing, I think. I'll skip my land drop for the turn. This is where I wish that I actually hadn't played Weaponize the Monsters. Fantastic. There goes my game plan. Curious Obsession, oh my god. Ooh-wee. Okay, draw a card. Can I have a good draw? Please? Please? Fountain of Renewal, that's a good land. Slap Law Mage's Binding on that. So it can't attack, and Curious Obsession will drop off of it, even if they do find an answer later down the line. Maybe they just have an answer now. It wouldn't surprise me. They have drawn a card, which basically means they got to pick whatever they wanted. It's Diabolic Tutor for our opponents. Okay. Surely we're not just passing. Murmuring Mystic. Okay. I think I might have to just fire off this Charter Course. There goes the Obsession. Ooh, Gilded Goose. Okay, we'll play Gilded Goose. I think we'll play... What do I want to do here? I don't really like you at all, to be honest. Just get rid of you. To the trash with you. We'll play Mace. We should have played that before the Goose. Alright, so we've got plenty of mana. We just swing in with the Goose to trigger Charter Course. Hopefully. Divine Visitation means that any instant or sorcery off of Murmuring Mystic is an angel. Which means we lose if we don't answer it. Sorin's Thirst is not an answer. So let's swing to trigger Charter Course. Play Charter Course. Find no answers. Yeah, I think that'll do it. I think we've lost. Just gonna put this Mace on. Power 4 or greater can't be blocked. Meh, I don't really like any of them. Let's get rid of Loxodon, I suppose. Can't seem to find any of the good cards. So any instant or sorcery is now a 4/4 angel with vigilance. Which hopefully I can outrace with my Gilded Goose. I'd appreciate that. It'd be nice. Yes, no, maybe? Okay then. Banefire, kill my permanent, make their permanent. Okay. Oh, I've never been outclassed so much in my entire life. Let's play Relentless Raptors. Dump Sorin's Thirst to get a land. Play the Troll to pump on the Valiant. And then next turn we can make a 5/5 Vigilant Raptor, I suppose. Since it has to attack each combat and our opponent has a Vigilant creature. It's probably going to have 8 power of creatures, though, to be honest. So this is where they draw another instant or sorcery and really wreck my day. Get in for 4. Reading cards. I don't do that. Don't see why you have to. Just get in. Just attack. Reading cards is not for attacking. Wow. I think my opponent has an answer in their hand that makes an angel. I thinks that they be planning to double block my Raptor, but I kind of have to force them to do it since the Raptor's attacking each turn if able anyway. That's what we're getting with the Challenger Troll as well. This is crap. So remove the troll, remove the raptor. I underestimate my opponent. I didn't think they'd have a bad card. Okay. Punt. He casts this pre-combat to make 8 power. I'm forced to attack him with my raptor. You could even do it on attacking declared. I guess. Whatevers. Okay. We are going to sorcery speed. Use this to bounce that token right there. Draw a card. Oh, thank Christ for that. Domri's Ambush. Get rid of this Murmuring Mystic. Alright. How does it feel, opponents also have nothing? That's how I felt this entire game. And now I feel like I might win. Which is really weird. We're going to pass. Sack the food tokens to the Savvy Hunter to draw a card. Gets rid of the Challenger Troll. Good game. Good game. GG. It's a sack on this too. Sack the food to draw a card. Dungeon Geists. I mean, it doesn't stop them from activating, but it does. It do be tapping them down. How's this worded, actually? When it tap target creature an opponent controls, that creature doesn't untap. So they can gain a little bit of life. It's not gonna do what I need it to do. Unless I go Ruin Raider first, and our opponent decides to react by killing Ruin Raider. No? Okay then, fine. Now I've got to play the Dungeon Geists. Tapping Zakama down, forcing them to do some shenanigans. So they can survive in multiple different ways, including killing the Mace of the Valiant, which they seem to have forgotten. Take him to 3. I get to even draw with Ruin Raider now. Legion's Landing's okay. Yeah, opponent's actually maybe throwing this game entirely by that last turn. Conclave Tribunal on Relentless Raptor, sure. And then they can shoot down both of my creatures, which will leave Zakama available to untap and leave me with nothing. And I need a burn spell. Prison Realm. You know what? That'll do. They're tapped out. Lucky me. Get rid of Zakama. Indestructible. 3/1/1s. Could be okay. I'm going to go Legion's Landing and pump up my dude to a 7/7 lifelinker, so I don't really know if I need this. I basically want a card that stops them from blocking next turn. So we go Legion's Landing. Then again, I suppose we do have Weaponize the Monsters, so the Assemble might have been good. 6 mana, though. Not entirely sure. And apparently that's enough. Okay, yeah, our opponent threw that game big time, so I wouldn't really call that a win, to be honest, but I mean, it got me this little pack of no value, so let's see what the value is. How much no value? 20 gems worth of not value. Okay, good stuff. Alright, well, we won a game. I guess. next game. Alright, let's have a look at this thing. Ooh, we got Rekindling Phoenix, which is real good. We got this 2/2, 2 mana 2/2. Honestly, there is no other text on that card. It's a 2 mana 2/2. Enters the battlefield, you may have it deal 2 damage to another creature you control if you do draw a card. Okay, so card advantage. We're going to get rid of Palaka Worm. We're not casting it anytime soon. Probably by the time we could cast Palaka Worm, we will have drawn another 7-drop, so let's just dump that and move on. Same thing, our opponent thinks Golter applies to that as well. So we got Dire Tactics. I do like On Serra's Wings with Dreadhorde Invasion, so I think I'm just going to get rid of this trash card right here. That absolutely should not be in any deck ever in the history of Magic the Gathering. I guess it's an alright draft common, but it's probably in the bulk common section if I had to guess. Ooh, thank God they discarded Mind Drop. Savage Gorger is a thing. Okay. So we got 3 mana. We can't really do anything with that. We do want On Serra's Wings, and we want to put that on our Dreadhorde token, I think. It does kind of open it up a little bit to more removal, but I think we're just going to go Dire Tactics on the Scourger. Only lose 1 life for it as well, so it's not really a problem. And then let's get rid of... I just don't know if I want Rigging Runner, to be honest. Am I ever going to really play this? It does come in as a 2/2 for 1 next turn, maybe. No, because I'm going to be on Serra's Wingsing. It just doesn't line up. Let's just make our land drop and pass. Stormfleet Arsonist up to 4 mana. Pacifism on my token. Alright, well, that's okay. Because not only can we just play different things, I can actually Wicked Guardian that and just get rid of the token. We'll get rid of Sleep. Never played this card before. So let's do it. Let's get rid of our 2/2 Dreadhorde token. Boop. Alright. Card advantage. The card advantage continues. So, what are we doing? Keeper of Fables. Divine Visitation. It's pretty good if we can get it into play. I think we're going to go with that, because if they don't have enchantment removal, which so far it seems they don't, because they've left my invasion alone, I'll block with my token, which means that every single turn for 1 mana I will make angel tokens. Or for 1 life, sorry. So they can't attack. But they're going to do it anyway. I'm happy to block there. Tribunal. Okay, so they did have enchantment removal. They were just baiting me. Which is fine. It's Vigilance, Flying, and Lifelink. It doesn't have First Strike. That's something I've got to remember. Alright, I think we're going to go with Ajani's Pridemate. We're going to go first Iroan Games. I think we're just discarding the Corpse Knight for mana. We don't have to make our land drops necessarily at this point, but I'd like to be at around 7 mana, I think, before I stop just making land drops every turn. Okay, so put 3 counters on a creature you control. So we're just going to block here, and we're going to block here. And we're just going to make a really big Pridemate, hopefully. Bloom Hulk to proliferate the Rigging Runner. I'm a little hesitant to go all in on a specific creature. Yeah, it's a weird place to be, but I think because they're tapped down, I will take advantage and make this big boy. who will also gain life and get pumped. And I'm not going to discard any of these cards because they look pretty good to me. So dodge removal 1 time. Moldavine Reclamation gets discarded. 6 mana and Rakdos. Come on, coin flip. Come on. Come on. Yes! We've done it. Alright. Thanks, opponent. I appreciate you. I appreciate the coin flip favoring me for once. Nice, nice. Alright, we're in, and it appears we are on the play. We've got all the Obsession cards in the world. We're going to get rid of New Horizons, I think, and then we're going to drop down Goblin Banneret. This is actually a card advantage monstrosity. Next turn we get to go Staggering Insight, I guess, to play on curve. Give lifelink to the Banneret, draw a card. It's as long as they don't play a 2/2 for 1 mana, which doesn't really exist. 2/1s do, but I don't know if they exist in this particular deck. But if that's the case, we might slow things down a little bit, who knows. I highly doubt they've got that, though. From my experience with this deck so far, there's not a lot of turn 1 plays that can occur. And there's a 2-drop. There is Shock in the format, and there are O2s. Ooh, Kenneth's Transformation. Alright, well, we don't need Foreboding Fruit if everything goes well. So let's make this a 2/2 that draws a card if you don't block with lifelink. Opponent's going to take it to keep their mana ramp. Probably for the best on their part. So it'd be nice if I could keep this going. But it's the reason why I haven't gone with the Obsession, because there is a possibility that down the line I'm not going to be able to attack. And Obsession drops off when you don't attack. Unlike the Insight. I think, again, similar to Foreboding Fruit, Keeper of Fables is probably the discard for the land drop. Samet, for those who don't know, has Samet's Sprint as the -1. +2/+1, haste, and scry. And give creatures haste, which can be relevant. Yeah, my only issue with the current situation is that Goblin Banneret isn't really capable... Isn't really capable of being any bigger than it already is, but that's not an issue because it's dead. Okay. Cruel Celebrant. I think we dump Keeper of Fables. And just play Audacious Thief. If I have to run it into garbage, then I will. I need a flyer for this Obsession. This hand is slowly unraveling. And it doesn't look good. Can't believe a frilled Sandwaller is going to get in my way. Okay, sure. That's fine. If they don't put anything in the way of the Audacious Thief, I get that free attack. Reassembling a Skeleton comes into play tapped, and it's a 1/1. But 3 drops, there are plenty of 3 toughness creatures in the 3-drop slot. We ain't seen them this time, though. Moldavine Reclamation looks real good. Alright, so first things first, let's draw a card. Zatalpa. That looks real bad. Okay. I think our opponent did not understand the Thief and assumed maybe it had to deal combat damage. They might have been prepared to block with the Gildagoose there, but it makes no difference. Yeah, I think we're just going to discard here. Play the Celebrant. And that might be it. I think that's probably it. We'll find a way to get down this Moldavine Reclamation so creatures dying draws as cards. Opponent discards the Shark Typhoon to make a land. Interesting. Makes a food. I think they're ramping into something. That appears to be their plan. If they don't play anything good here, though, I wouldn't really call that good. Fighters won. Oh my god, that's so good. Okay. So, yeah, we're just gonna get in. Get the Audacious Thief trigger. We've got the Fighters one in our hand ready for a blowout. We've got a human and a non-human, or at least I think you're a human. Yep. I don't know. Could have been a dwarf. Looks like one of the 7 dwarves right there. Oof. Human and non-human, please. You and you. They haven't printed dwarves in a long time, though, to be fair, so I think it's safe to assume that it's always a human. Alright, then we're just going to play Farron. And, to be honest, probably discarding Samet at this stage. Yes, discard Samet. And again, transformation not worth my time. So we're going to get another Audacious Thief attack trigger without removal from our opponent. I am going to run it straight into whatever they play. Most likely. Just because the attack trigger goes off and we lose a life, and then when it dies, we get the death trigger and we draw a card. And we gain the life, which undoes the downside of the attack. Partially, anyway. Chandra's Outrage is going into the trash. So they have removal. They either chose not to use it, or they have more. If their entire turn is just replay Skeleton, they're in a sad situation. Cleansing Nova. Seems good. It's perfectly timed. Savvy Hunter. Okay, we'll just play Savvy Hunter as it is, and then pass the turn. Play the Reclamation on attack, maybe. If they don't play blockers, then obviously we've got the Curious Obsession. I am going to take that with the Savvy Hunter. And we can even make the Hunter a 4/4, and whatever our opponent plays a 3/3 and draw a card. So we can definitely get a profitable attack in with our current hand state. It's a Karma into the bin. That feels like a mistake, but here goes Rakdos. Whiffs entirely. You love to see it. Alright. That's a 3/3 now. Fairy Guide Mother. This is a 4/4 now. This is a 3/3. This is card advantage. Or death. It's up to you, opponent. Card advantage or death? We're going to go with card advantage. With a side order of death. Okay. I'm going to keep the Fairy Guide Mother for the Savvy Hunter and get rid of the Loxodon for a land drop. Probably should be making them. And I don't think convoking and tapping out is necessarily what I have in mind for a turn. Yeah, we're looking real good now. Keeper of Fables, sure. And they want to get in 4, 5, 6. I need 1 point to kill our opponent. Horn Beetle isn't going to be it. I'll keep them off of card advantage, I think. Even though I could wait and get another counter on my Horn Beetle. Ooh, have you got a Fighter's one? Or a God's Willing? Yeah, they do. Alright. Punished. I was punished. I accept it. Oh, and it's the 6/6 trample as well, because the enchantment drops off. Damn, that's a combo. Alright. Okay. Pretty good. I'll give you that. We're drawing a few cards, though, next turn, so we should be able to keep up. March of the Multitudes. Okay, so we want to... Gift of the Fae. Savvy Hunter. Swing. Get a food token. And 6 points of damage. Taking our opponent to 1. Merfolk Skydiver. Put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control, and then you can proliferate. Alright, so we'll play that. We'll play this. Counter's gonna be on this Fairy Guide Mother. And then 1, 2, 3. I could do a March X1. If I discard like this. I guess I should also draw a card. Should have done that beforehand. Just in case the card that we draw is something I'd rather discard, which it is. Do we have lethal? We are presenting it in the air. And we have a 1/1 incoming as well off the Convoke for March. Might not be worth it. But whatever our opponent does here is going to determine that. That seems like a panic move. Weaponize the monsters. Okay, that keeps them in the game. I'll have to Convoke in response to that. X1. Auto pay. And that should do it. So block in the air, block on the ground, 1 point, kills you. Unless they've got a shock. They need shock specifically here, I think. They could draw it by attacking with Rakdos. But that comes at a cost. And the cost is death. I'm not sure if they've discarded already, but they could discard and activate this for some life gain, stolen by the Fae. Huh. Well, we don't really need to do that, but we can. X5, you... That should seal the deal. Yep. Okay. Some good back and forth there. Rakdos not really helping out, as usual. That's why, as much as I love Rakdos, don't really care to play him much at all. I wonder if they could have got to Zakama in time. I guess not. I think they would have probably have to discard a fair few too many things, left their board a little bit empty. But yeah, a bit weird them getting rid of Chandra's Outrage. That seemed like a really good answer at the time, but apparently they disagreed. But yeah, really enjoyed that matchup. I think that's probably going to do it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this event. I think it's a bit hit or miss, to be honest. I really do like the idea of the emblem. I think the emblem giving you the ability to make your land drops consistently, or when you want them anyway, actually adds a little bit of that variance protection that some Magic players really don't like when it comes to making land drops and things like that. So if you want a land, you've got a land. It does come at the cost of discarding cards that you might want to play later though, but that kind of adds a hidden element of strategy. I'd say as far as the deck itself is concerned though, not a big fan of it. I think it could do with being powered up a little bit. There's some weird stuff in here that just like Hidetsuka's Second Right. It's just not... That's going to be a dead card every time, right? It's just such a dead card. And then there's just a few things that just win you the game on the spot. I almost feel like if you removed every single card that drew you a card, this might actually be a little bit more of an interesting format. You would get empty-handed and you'd be on top decks, but it would make you really consider every single discard to the emblem a little bit more. You'd have to get rid of like Banefires and Golters and have it more of a mid-range. Probably stop at like the 5-drop slot, but you could have like power cards in these slots. Like have 1 to 5, get rid of all of this right here, all of these cards. And then just have, instead of the card draw spells, just have something nice and powerful. I think that might be an option that's definitely something to be explored. Maybe they already did and it turned out to be crap. I don't know. But I just feel like either dropping a bomb wins you the game or drawing too many cards wins you the game. It's one or the other usually, which makes it, even though you're cutting the RNG out by removing the land mechanic, you're adding RNG by just having like these big bomb cards that just win you the game. And if you don't find them, you just lose. So it's a weird one. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. If this event comes back again, I think I will play it again, but if it's not more powerful or a little bit more interesting, it'll probably be the last time I play it, to be honest. But it's free to enter. I recommend you getting at least one game out of it. Make your own mind up. So yeah, there's really no downside to doing so. Do your dailies in it if you really don't like standard or historic at the moment, or brawl. Yeah, can't see you really not liking all three and still playing arena, but you know, it is what it is. Like and subscribe anyway. I'm babbling, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.